Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we welcome Patty Gurdy to the channel. How are you doing today, Patty?
Hello, Tauri. I'm excited to meet you. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be here. I'm really excited to chat with you as well. I've been following your work for quite some time. I obviously discovered you because of my channel, and I've been wanting to chat with you, of course, about your new album Tavern. But you also just got back from like a super extensive tour with Ailstorm. How was that for you?
Actually, multiple tours. That was
Yeah.
crazy. I have so much to tell you.
Which other tours did you have?
So, in the beginning of the year, we did a pretty long Pagan Fest tour that was 30 days all around Europe. We barely had any days off, so that was really hardcore, but so much fun with a couple of other bands. So, lots of people on that tour. That was so cool. And then I was home for 2 weeks and then already packing my bag again to go to Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. I also saw that it was announced a couple of weeks ago that you'll be a feature artist on Diane van Giersbergen's next single. How did that all come about?
Oh, no, I was actually talking to her producer,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, I have a really cool project coming up that you might want to be part of." And then he actually picked me up from one of the Pagan Fest concerts because I was like, "Oh, damn it, I'm on tour. I can't record." And he was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna come pick you up." And we recorded it at daytime, and then
Uh-huh.
at night I played another gig. Yeah, that was crazy, but really cool.
Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear it. Like Diane's one of my like personal favorite voices too. I like and to have you on one of her tracks, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that you like her too. Yeah. No, I love her the previous song she released. So it's super exciting that she was like, "Ah, let's do a little bit of folk here." And obviously, sign me up for that. So
Of course, Tavern has already been out for several months now. How have you found like the feedback from your fan base or even people who are discovering you with this album?
hmm. I think mainly I focused on my fan base, and actually the cool thing is that a lot of like my fan base, I call them Gurdians.
Yeah.
That's a combination of the word guardian and Gurdy. Gurdy is the name of my funny instrument. So a lot of Gurdians were actually involved in the process. So they're actually to be seen on the DVD. Maybe I should say that my Tavern album is an album and a movie.
Hmm.
So I made those 12 songs into 12 music videos. So in a lot of them, you can actually see the Guardians being part of it. So that was so cool to actually do this together.
Yeah, that's awesome. That leads me on to a question I had. If of course, that importance of staying connected with your online community that you have built. Of course, you just told me you call them the Guardians, right?
Yes.
So how do you feel that's important to have them involved in what you do for your art and your music?
Well, for this Tavern album, I it's a bit hard to tell you at what exact point I had the idea to do a Tavern album because this kind of a format I haven't ever done before, but all of a sudden it felt like the absolute right thing to do. And obviously, if I'm going to do a Tavern album and turn everything into a movie too, because I really
Right?
don't have anything else to do, right? It's like kind of self-explanatory that the Guardians should also be a part of it because it's a tavern. Come on in, right?
Right.
Welcome. Let's go.
So what inspired you to build it into this huge, like you say, it's a tavern. Like, you're supposed to have that community surrounding you for this type of music, and I think it fits really well with the vibe that you're going for. What inspired that? What I know you said you can't exactly pinpoint where it came from, but like,
Yeah.
what thought process started that?
Oh yeah, I can tell you that for sure. So it's basically by looking at the world and feeling like what is missing and what can I add, whatever I feel is missing, right? It's really, I actually really live by that a lot, by this saying, be the change you want to see in the world. And as an artist, I sometimes feel like, I actually don't know how to say this in English. It's almost like I have okay, I'm gonna try and say this. I have this special position that I'm in, that is quite privileged, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I sometimes can have access to people and have can express something that reaches maybe a mile longer than without being an artist
Mm-hmm.
and having that reach, right? So I really want to use that to make this world a better place in my eyes, obviously. So um, I was really feeling like a lot of people are lacking a third place. And for those of you who don't know, a third place is generally understood as, the first place being your home, the second place being your work, and the third place being a place of community, which nowadays a lot of people are lacking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of reasons for that. But I really felt like that is something I want to give to the community and, of course, to the world, to whoever feels invited. So I was thinking, what kind of third place would I like to have? Funny enough, I'm making a Tavern album and I don't even drink alcohol. So it was never about that for me.
Right.
None of the songs are about that. It's always been about a place where we can come together and be ourselves and be with each other and tell stories. And that's ultimately also what a tavern is about. And the songs on there are really just the songs I would have liked to hear. I would like to hear at a tavern. So it's a big variety, a lot of genre influences, and a lot of different guest artists too. So.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. It's such a sweet idea that comes from the heart, and you feel that anyway. I think with you, you're very genuine, you're very down to earth, and I think people can just like approach you, and who they see online is the Patty that they're going to get. That is so cool.
Just because I've just been talking about the Gurdy.
Yeah.
This is who was at the video shoot of that.
That's so
So yeah,
cool.
that's a lot of people. That
It is
was
a lot of
great.
people.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool thing to do, and like you said, you're in this position of privilege of you've got this voice that you can use, and you can spread this positivity into the world, and I totally understand that, not having that third place, because I moved from my home country to a totally brand new country that I had only visited once before. Didn't know anybody, still don't really know a lot of people, and so like my third place is like obviously my community that I've built with my channel, and then finding out that you're in that you're offering that same sort of thing, it really speaks to me on a personal level. So I just want to thank you for that too, for also for your Guardians just finding a safe space, if you will.
Yeah, totally. And I'm so impressed with your story too,
Oh,
because that
thank
takes
you.
so much bravery. It's really not easy to do that and to find your own place in a completely new country. So yeah, that takes a lot of bravery too.
Yeah, it does. What was the thought process in wanting this to also be like a huge visual piece of art? You mentioned you've turned this into a literal movie with your 12 music videos.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this to any artist. Please don't do this. I like to say I died like 10 deaths in this.
I can
I can
imagine.
proudly say I lost 2 teeth to this
Oh,
production. Yeah, I just stopped going to the doctor because I wanted to
uh-huh.
finish it. Yeah, that's my payback. Don't do what I did. Don't do this. But wow, I think it wasn't the plan in the beginning. So part of what sparked the idea to do this kind of tavern music is actually me falling in love with the Celtic harp.
Mm-hmm.
And playing along to the Celtic harp because I come from like more like a piano background. So I was like, oh, the Celtic harp is like kind of similar, but like more medieval style or like more, there's more flavor to it. And it's also a great combination with my favorite instrument ever, the hurdy-gurdy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they just accompany each other so well. So obviously, I was like, oh my God, like sparking so much inspiration. And when I had the first couple songs, I was in the studio with my producer, and around that time must have been when I was like, ah, well, this could be this kind of music video. This could be that kind of music video. And then at some point, it's like, oh, damn it, we're just gonna do all of it. And yeah, I'm kind of a stubborn head. So once I have an idea like that, I run with it, and I will run through walls. I will not let anyone stop me, and that's why this thing exists now.
No, it's such a cool thing to do, and I know, like you said, it took you not visiting the dentist because you were just so hyper fixated on getting this done, and just like putting yourself through all these hoops to get it done, and to have this now visual piece of art that you can proudly call your own, and that you've had your own community involved in, and it's just so it's something that you can be so proud of. So I mean, I am proud of you for doing it and for pushing through and for getting it done as a new fan. And for those of the people who have been with you for a long time, I can't imagine how they're feeling. Like, it's such a wonderful project.
Yeah, you know what I love about it is that people can now just watch this at home and feel like they're part of the tavern forever.
Right.
Because you can
Right.
just have this at home. And obviously a lot of people are um involved in a big movie production like
Mhm.
that. And aside from my music producer, I of course also had a video producer because I all of a sudden have two productions that I'm juggling with. And my video producer, Mirko Witzki from Witzki Visions,
Oh, I love him.
if he weren't that crazy, this would not have happened. But he was like, oh yeah, let's do that. That's definitely a good idea. We will totally not regret doing this. And I was like, exactly what I thought. And that's how.
No,
Yeah.
he's definitely one of my favorite like music video producers, like, and directors. You can tell it's his work. He has like that stamp on it that it's just, I don't know. I go in and we get to the end of the video, and then it pops up with his little like card at the end. And I'm like, yep, I love it.
Oh yeah, he has a great aesthetic, such a good taste, and like the way he cuts things together. Later,
Yeah.
I always think, why did I even worry? I have Mirko on my team. There's nothing to worry about.
So what was the creative process for you when it came to like writing and composing for this album?
Well, with a lot of the songs, for example, okay, let me just look at the track list. Um, like I said, some of them are what I would like to hear in a
Mhm.
tavern. Um, for example, Find Me Some Pretty Girls. This is actually me writing from the perspective of not having what I sing about. So this is kind of funny because I was like longing for a female friend group where, we are each other's safe space and we're like a sisterhood and we can conquer the world and do whatever we want. So, and this is quite an upbeat song, which I really love because it gives me so much energy. So this is definitely the kind of vibe I would love to hear at a
Mhm.
tavern for sure. But then there's also songs like Rise Up or I'm With You that are actually quite mental health focused, kind of,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I'm essentially I was trying to, and that's what I meant earlier. I think I'm trying. my best to kind of be like a hand that reaches out
Yeah.
when you need it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to be that for my community in the form of a song, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. And then another really cool one is Alvaran, in my opinion. So that is like again like completely different genre influence. This is a song written in Icelandic, and
Hmm.
the lyrics are written by an Icelandic folk singer. Her name is Magga Einarsdóttir, and she wrote the whole lyrics. It's like a very Nordic story inspired kind of lyrics. And when she sent them to me, I pretty much immediately had a melody in my head for it. And I sent it back to her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that is so Icelandic sounding. Like that fits so good into this whole Nordic thing." So it almost felt like this song wrote itself,
Right.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a great job with the lyrics, even though she usually like she doesn't write that many lyrics. She's also an author, but
Hmm.
she did such a great job that it immediately sparked something in me, and bam,
Right.
I'm
Just
done.
bouncing off of each other, and then
Yeah,
it just became
that's
super organic.
so
Do you have a song that you feel like was like super challenging for you to write on this or to just like finish?
cool. Oh my God. Again, let me look at the track list. Hold on. Um, they're all so different. Um, Brighter Days Come was the last one. So we kind of we were in the process of like we had a pretty good idea, like my music producer Gilbert Gelstoff and I, we had a pretty good idea of okay, this is kind of how the album is gonna sound like. What is the last track that we'd want on there? Like, leaving one empty puzzle piece to fill with whatever is still missing, or with like, if we want to take a little bit more of another direction, what else would we like? And then we were thinking, something more upbeat would be great, and something like kind of again Celtic inspired. And then he showed me like a whole like he had this old CD of 1 hour of mouth music from all over Europe. And we were listening literally to like super old recordings of random people going for like 1 hour
Yeah.
and finding out about how, those kinds of singing existed in different a lot of like Celtic regions, like north of
Yeah.
France, Scotland, and so on. But how this style of singing, of course, is both very close to what, for example, a fiddle sounds like. So like you kind of, it's almost like scatting, I think, in
Right.
jazz they
Right.
scatting.
Yeah.
Also, it's very kind of back to childhood, like
Yeah.
how you would, it's almost like, when you don't understand the lyrics on the radio.
Right, but you still sing along to that melody.
Exactly, like that's
Yeah.
kind of felt like we were like, oh my God, we should make a song that kind of is inspired by that. And that's why you don't understand a word in that chorus, but the words do exist. Yeah, so yeah, it was just inspired. Like the phonetics are, yeah, it's like I put a magnifying glass on the phonetics of that chorus to make it
Hmm.
sound like mouth music. Yeah,
Right.
really
That's
funny. So, yeah.
that's really fun. That's such a
Yeah.
fun way to end it too, and I love the title as well because it just brings that hope as well. It rounds it off in hope. You
I have
know?
a really funny story about the title. Do you want to hear
Really?
it?
Yes. Yes.
So the I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention to your accent, so I'm just asking, do you like you're not British? Are you British?
Yeah.
British, okay, sorry. That
No,
kind of something gets lost in
my
my
people get so confused with my accent
yeah.
because I've lived in America for like 13 years, so it's like a mixture of both right now. It's like really, really messed up. So sometimes I sound like I'm from Northern England, like Manchester area,
Nice, okay.
and then I moved over here, yeah, 13 years ago. So now I live in like the south of like South America, North Carolina area. So it's like really messed up.
Yeah, but it's really cool that you say that because when I hang around different people from different areas, also my accent
Same. I do that.
immediately
Yep.
adjusts, and I don't even want this, but it always
Me
happens.
either. Like I go back and I listen to like, or I speak to my parents and I'm like, I miss my normal accent. Like, give it me back.
Yep. So actually, knowing that you originally are from north, like the north of England,
Uh-huh.
this is going to be really funny to you because originally the song was called "Bloomin' Days Come."
Oh, okay.
Until I learned that bloomin' is a kind of a curse word,
Yeah. Yeah.
but only for Brits.
Right.
So Americans don't even use that.
Nope.
But when I learned it, I was like, oh no, like I can't call my song Bloomin' Days Come because they will think I'm cursed.
Right.
So I changed it to Friday Days Come.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. And speaking of the tracks, of course you had so many collabs with people. One of those was the legend himself, Marco. How was that for you? Because he's one of my personal favorite voices and has been for such a long time.
Oh, 100%. He is an absolute legend. I love his voice so much. And his voice really stands out to me as, if I look at a lot of like male singers, you can always tell it's Marco. When you hear
Yeah.
Marco, he has such a um like unique, recognizable tone. And I was actually just thinking about how much Marco also is. I th I think if you are, I mean, I guess I'm not, but if you are a man struggling with mental health and you need somebody to look up to, I think Marco's a safe bet because he's
Yeah.
been battling some demons, and
Yep.
I think I don't know if he would agree or not, but I think he's quite a role model.
Yep.
He's being so open and honest about it, about all his struggles he's been going through, the way he's been trying to deal with them. And I think he's just aside from being a musical genius, he's a total inspiration as a person too.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I had the chance and the opportunity to chat with him about his new album, and just that whole album is his struggles and his personal with his demons and looking at the brighter side and seeing that hope. And like you said, it's just, especially for his like generation, I feel like they were just told to man up and get on with it, you know? Whereas
Yeah.
now I think mental health is taken a little bit more seriously. And just to, like you say, he's just somebody that you can truly look up to, especially if you are a male and you are struggling and you don't necessarily feel like you have anybody to talk to. That's why I love music, because there are
Yeah.
people, even yourself, putting your own um struggles and emotions and everything that you feel into music, which then makes us feel and makes us feel like we're not alone. And that's why I love it. And that's why I love getting to chat with people like yourself as well.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And also, I love his new album too, so I definitely go check that out.
How, like, I know you've talked about genre blending. How would you personally describe like your musical landscape?
Ah, okay. So it kind of has changed over the years, but right now I arrived at Celtic pop.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I would put like a term over it. But there's a reason as to why, because I would probably call it folk pop. I just realized that the USA would associate that more with like country style
Mm-hmm.
music.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. So, and my inspiration is really different kinds of European pop, folk, obviously, blended with pop. So I was thinking maybe Celtic pop describes it, like puts it to the point, because the Celtic people and Celtic culture was all over Europe. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people
Yeah.
think Celtic was Irish. It's no,
Right. Right.
that's not entirely true. So the Celtic culture was all over Europe pretty much, and even further. So yeah, on this album, I even have the Nordic influences. A couple of melodies sound Swedish or French to me. Of course, a bit of medieval style influence. It's of course not authentic medieval music because I mix it with pop. So
Right.
I'm going for the feel, right? I want the
Yeah.
vibe. And then a little bit of rock influence, especially on the track that Marco is on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good bunch of pretty much everything in there, and that's why I love it because you don't limit yourself just to one thing and whatever inspires you, you put that in. So that leads me on to my next question. Where do you get your inspiration from? Just
Oh,
everywhere?
uh, I mean, we already talked about a couple of the songs, and it's really different for every song.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I can see that because they are quite
yeah,
different from one another.
yeah, and sometimes it's also kind of cool to keep it open and see what happens.
Right.
We did that with an instrumental track. It's kind of the outro to I Am Free. So I Am Free has a another German artist as a feature. Penela Kanapin is her name. And she is not only a great singer, but also fantastic violinist. Um, because she plays in styles where she can make it sound like, it's a very Swedish kind of sounding violin or a very Irish kind of sounding violin. And me being so deep in this folk world, that's like really exciting to have one
Yeah.
person that can show all of these nuances in their playing style, because I know how hard that is to pull that off. And so the outro for that song that we're singing and playing together is became its own track because
Mhm.
I wanted to give her incredible violin skills a lot of space, because I knew, just let her do it. It will be magnificent. It will be a fairy forest music track, and I'm here for it. So that's how that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
really
song
cool.
that's called "Up to the Stars."
Mhm.
It's a second track. It's basically the outro to "I'm Free," kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you also felt like that you could take a step back and you could let her shine with the violin too. It just speaks volumes to the type of person you are, I think.
Yeah, I mean there is also Gurdy on it, but it's just
Mhm.
to the violin, and the
Yeah.
violin is really having the spotlight because oh my God, have you heard her?
Yes, I have. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. We talked about touring in the beginning. How do you take care of yourself while you are touring? Because not only is it physically draining, but it's also very emotionally and mentally draining. Like, what do you do to just like keep refreshed and stop yourself from burning out?
Hmm. Um, I
And
don't think I would burn out on tour because it's like playtime.
right, right.
So I think, no, can I say, as long as you have good people around you,
Yeah.
it will forever feel like playtime. As soon as you have people around you that you don't vibe with, that are creating a lot of friction around you, they're just not a good match for you, that's when it becomes hard.
Yeah.
But the touring schedule can be super hard, super crazy timed, super little sleep. As long as you have the right people around you, I yeah, it's so much fun. It's like in school when the whole
Yeah.
class was out for a day. Yeah. It's that feeling, but it keeps going.
Yeah. You're right in that just you have to be around that right energy to be able to continue on. So, do you have any rest of year plans that you can tell us about?
I didn't hear you there.
Do you have any rest of year plans that you can tell us about?
Oh, I of course I have plans, but I
Well,
can't tell
yes.
you. I'm so sorry. No, I literally can't tell you about it right now. Oh, that is so boring. Let me come up with something. Oh yeah, I will totally use that summer to go out into beautiful nature, maybe do some camping, cook my little barbecue soup or something, and enjoy the beautiful nature and our beautiful planet wherever I am, and so should you.
And also don't forget to, keep an eye on Patty's social media for those incoming announcements that we can't know about right now because it's all secret. Do you have
Use
any...
social media for more updates.
Exactly. Do you have any last words for people watching this interview, just of thanks or anything like that?
Hmm. Oh yeah, I love to say one more thing, which is also very important for my community because oh my God, they are the sweetest people. They are so welcoming, and I just want to say in this Celtic folk music, we don't want to gatekeep.
Hmm.
We don't care where you're from and who you are. Because if you are feeling the music, you are invited to join and you're already a part of it. So that was really important for me to say. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I hate gatekeeping in music because if somebody feels something, then like you say, they should be invited into that community that you have. And I I love that. I have felt very welcomed into your little community as well as like a reactor too. So it's like I always get super sweet comments and everything like that. So it's always nice when I check out your music.
Oh, that's a relief to hear that you're getting the internet can be a harsh place.
Yes, yes, it can. Well, thank you so much, Patty, for being here today. I really appreciate your time. I will, of course, leave all of Patty's links and everything down below in the description so you can easily find her. Patty, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for making the time and space for crazy folk music. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down below in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.